It's not about how much you make, it's all about how you manage what you make. And it doesn't matter how much you earn, whether it's 50,000 Kenyan shillings, it's 100,000 Kenyan shillings, it's 30,000 Kenyan shillings. It is how you manage that money that will determine how much wealth you'll create by the time you are 60 years or 65 years of age. If you cannot save 10 shillings from 100 shillings, you will not be able to save 100 shillings from 1,000, and also you'll not be able to save 1,000 from 10,000 shillings. What does this mean? It means if you always consume all what you make, and with the mentality of saying that this money is too small, I can't save, and saying that when you save this money, you will not be able to achieve your goals because you are thinking the 10 bob from 100 shillings is little money, or the 1,000 in 10,000 is little money, then you'll not be able to reach your financial goal. If you practice 1% of what the rich people do, you'll be able to create passive income and create an emergency fund, have good amount of money when you reach your retirement age. In this video, I am going to review the 15-65-20% rule that 1% of the rich people use to manage their finances. You need to reserve 15% of your income for yourself, and this 15%, it's well managed, or it's better when you keep it in a high yielding account like a money market fund or bank accounts that give you high interest every year and that is also compounding. The good thing with a money market fund is your interest will be compounding monthly and your money will be able to grow. The reason as to you need to keep 15% for yourself is because it will give you peace of mind. You'll be able to handle emergencies of life that come with, emergencies of life, because life comes with a lot of surprises. The best way to start with your emergency fund is to calculate how much you spend every month, your core expenses. This one does not include any luxury or any Netflix subscription or anything that is for fun. It's not accounted in this emergency fund. You need to know how much you spend on your core expenses like rent, utilities, food, transport, health, and save that amount in an emergency fund. And if you have not yet started, you're a beginner, you have never even heard about emergency fund, or you have never had or have money set aside for your emergencies, the best way to start is track your expenses, know how much your core expenses take, and then build a 1-month emergency fund. From there, you'll be able to accumulate and continue saving to 3 months and then grow it again to 6 months. Having a buffer of 3 to 6 months will give you peace of mind in your daily activities. You'll not be worried if you lose your job now, how you'll survive before you get another one. If you get a life emergency, then you'll be able to sort it without getting into debts. The other reason for having the 15% reserved for you is to make the money work for you. I'm going to share 3 examples or 4 of people who will save, or a case study of people who have saved money. And I'm going to start with person A. If person A has 10,000 shillings and they save that amount in a money market fund and they top it up consistently for the next 30 years, this person will have 21,800,000 shillings. If person A has 10,000 shillings in their money market fund account and then they top up 10,000 every month for the next 30 years, they will have made 21,887,705 Kenyan shillings. If person B has 10,000 in the MMF account and they top up 10,000 every month for the next 25 years, they will have made 13,090,000 shillings. You can see the difference between 30 and 25 years. Now this is where it gets huge numbers of money. If person C does the same for 35 years, they will have made 36 million Kenyan shillings. And if person D saves the similar amount of money in a zero interest account, they will only have saved 3,610 shillings. So you can see there is power of compounding interest, and that is why Albert Einstein said and quoted, "Compound interest is the eighth wonder of the world." You can see this, the person who saved for 35 years will be able to get 36 million, and the person who saved for 30 years, they will get 21 million. And a person who have saved for 25 years, they will get 13 million. You can see the difference by allowing more time in your amount and more time to compound that amount of money. The more you let that money work for you, the more drastically the money is going to grow over a period of time because of the power of compounding interest. If you're wondering where you need to start with 15% of your income. Start putting that money aside now, because in the next 10 years you will have made much improvement as compared to saying, I will not start now because it is late. No, it's never too late. You can start now and you can make a significant change in your life. And if you are a young person, you are in your 30s, this is the time to jump into this and start saving your money and watch it grow over the years, because in the next 35 years you will be retired, and from that money you'll also be getting interest that you can use for your day-to-day life. And you don't want to retire and you don't have anything to feed on or to rely on, so start today. The 65% in this rule goes to your core expenses, and these core expenses are like a mortgage, rent, loans that you are servicing, groceries, utility bills. The best way to know how much you spend is you put it down on paper. You cannot go wrong when you take numbers and calculate them and to know that I spend 50,000 every month on my core expenses. And the reason as to why you need to know how much you spend is so that you can keep them in check. The goal is to make sure that the daily expenses or the monthly expenses that you cannot go by without paying for them are kept in check. And once you know, you can be able to think about it and say, can I reduce on rents? Can I negotiate a better rent in my apartment, or can I move in a better apartment that is that the rent is less than what I am paying right now? Or can I start shopping for food in a wholesale shop where the prices are lower than for supermarkets? That is the reason. If it is internet, how much is my supplier charging me for the internet? Can I get a cheaper internet at the same reliability and be able to access internet with convenience? Those are the questions or the conversation that you'll be able to have, because you cannot go by without paying for groceries and rent and your mortgage and utility bills. The goal is to keep them in check. Make sure they don't go above 65%. If you can keep them below 65%, even better. Accounting for the 15 and 65% leaves us with 20%. And this 20% is where now we leave it for the guilt-free spending. It's important to spend on yourself, to have that, to buy that bag that you have always wanted, to go for that vacation that you have always wanted. The goal is not to get to old age with a large bank account without having enjoyed life. The goal is to get in your old age with good amount of money in your bank account and also to have enjoyed your life. It is important to factor in the 20% also, because it will help you to stay on track, and it will also help you to be consistent in your other financial goals. If you're not budgeting for the guilt-free spending, like buying yourself a bag, taking yourself for a vacation, taking yourself for that luxury dinner you've always wanted, visiting the luxurious destination like Dubai, if you will not be able to budget for that, that means you'll be spending that money in what you have and living less for your savings, because you have not budgeted for it, but it's something that you will need it or you will want it. then it calls the imbalance in your spending. So it is important to know if you are making 1,000 shillings, 15, that is 150 shillings goes to your emergency fund or your MMF account, 65 shillings goes to your daily expenses, that your core fund or your core expenses, and then the 20% or the 20 shillings goes to your enjoyment and your guilt-free spending. The 1% understands the importance of leaving money for your expenses because it will help them focus more on building wealth and enjoying what they are building. It's the same way when you are doing dieting. It's important to have cheat days where you can eat things that you crave for, as compared to saying you will just stick to the proper diet that you have set and you will not have any cheat day. You will end up eating the things that you had said you'll not eat, and you will not stop because there is no boundary around it. So the moment you start having the cheat day when you had not planned for it, you are more likely to be like, I will not even go back to my diet. But if you have a cheat day, you have already set, maybe in a month you have like 2 days, 3 days, 5 days, whichever works for you. It will control you and be able to keep you focused on the main goal. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you love my content and you are into personal and finance development, please like this video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to my channel.